Everybody, how's it going? So for the last month and a half, I've gotten a lot of where are the board repair videos? Where are the board repair videos? We want more board repair videos. But I'm not done moving, and I can't fit into my current store. So I have no way to do board repair videos in my current store. So I decided to say, screw it. I'm not ready to move yet. I don't have all my furniture yet, whatever. But I got into a truck. I moved my desks and everything. I stayed last night setting everything up. I spent time today moving just enough stuff that I can do a basic board repair video. I've set this up so that the only thing that you can see is the very small part of the store that's not a total clusterfuck, which is this little 2 feet by like 1 foot frame. So I don't have an overhead camera yet because I don't have anything set up here above the desk. I've just grabbed myself just enough chips so that I'll be able to do my first board repair from the new store. There are people walking in, like there's movers still moving things in and out of the place. First MacBook in the pile is a MacBook that started smoking. Now I don't have an overhead camera, so I'm gonna have to hold the thing up to you so that you could see what it looks like on the inside. We will be getting back that soon. Are you still using the same camera with a broken HDMI port? Unfortunately. So if you see any video drop-offs, that's why. I've outlaid way too much money on way too much other crap to get to replace this camera. So this gentleman said that his machine looked like it smoked after a water damage spill. So let's see what is going on here and what he means by smoked. So I also don't have any light in this office. So Paul almost finished hanging up all the lights that he got, but there's no lights above me. So I went to B&H and I bought these three little lights around me. They look in the picture like they're huge, and then you buy them, and they're the size of my camcorder, and they were $300. So this is actually, I'm in a room that's mostly dark right now, but I have 3 little lights around me, giving you the illusion that there's light. You know, this is what these things look like. I picked 3 of these things up because otherwise I'm pretty much in the dark here. So I have just enough stuff here that I'll be able to do kind of a half-ass board repair video. I brought over my camera stuff, my computer, my office desk, a couple of chips that I use on a regular basis. Yeah, I brought a couple of chips. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on with this board. Now, the first thing I notice is, oh my God. Okay, this is the LED driver area, and that is the fuse. Anel, check this out. So the only thing I didn't bring is fucking backlight fuses, and look at that backlight fuse.
Did you check continuity, though?
Did I check continuity? Let's do it. The one thing I didn't bring is a backlight fuse. I brought backlight drivers, but no fuses.
Well, we have certified pre-owned.
Certified pre-owned owners. Listen to this. Okay. Let's open Paul Daniels' software.
Of course, it would work on the first try.
It always works on the first try. I bet it will. So, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, wouldn't it be funny if this... Oh, that would have been funny if it worked. All right, so we have that, and we also have a little bit of this. Uh-oh. Yep, the fuse blowing definitely helped this guy. Oh yeah, fuse made sure to blow at just the right time. Do you think that pin is still good?
I wouldn't trust it because it's going to press against the ground pad that's underneath it.
Oh yeah, you're right. We got to put some green stuff in there.
I could find you a donor screen.
Okay. So I suppose I should take the board out of this. I think this LED driver may actually be usable. That's the thing. I think the only thing that really blew in a violent fashion here is the fuse. This is the first time I'm shooting out flux in the new office. First time using flux in the new office. At 9:20 p.m. on February 16th, 2020 was the first time we used the proper amount of flux here at our 27th Street office. Yes. You take that, Paul. The proper amount of flux. I actually wish I had my micro pencil here. I'm going to trade these tweezers with someone in the front that has a micro pencil. Now, believe it or not, everything here but the fuse is actually going to be okay. Like that transistor, that's not, it doesn't really have high amounts of current going through it. Neither does this cap. Neither does that resistor. That's just minor liquidy corrosion over there. This fuse is what really got messed up. And also, as you can see over here, the pad for it. See, the pad is gone for the fuse, but luckily it doesn't matter that the pad for the fuse is gone because we can simply scrape away at the trace that led to it. We're just going to scrape away at the copper. So see over here, we're going to scrape away at the solder mask. So over here you have the solder mask stuff over the trace. So like over here, if I do this, see how I can't solder to it? But over here what I'm doing is I'm scraping like really hard, enough to get that solder mask off there. Now I have to solder a fuse there. Now here's the fun part. So I took a bunch of stuff over here to the new place. I got LED drivers, I got connectors, TPS 51980s, ISL 9239s, ISL 6259s, TPS 51125s, all LP8550s. You know what I didn't bring? You know what I didn't bring to the new store? A backlight fuse. You know why I didn't bring a backlight fuse? Because backlight fuses on MacBooks don't die. You know when they die? When my closest backlight fuse is a mile that way. Go fucking figure. That's how this works. All right, I'm going to get myself a nice certified pre-owned MacBook fuse from one of my certified pre-owned donor boards over here. Let's see what we have. Do we have any certified pre-owned MacBook backlight fuses? Here we go. You know what? This will do just fine. There we go. Beautiful. This is hysterical. This is truly hysterical. The only reason that this is here, the only reason that this backlight fuse is dead, when the backlight fuse never dies, is because I did not bring them. It's the way this works. Come on. Wait a second. This is a Fahrenheit quick. Oh, you piece of son, I thought this was a Celsius quick. I just played myself. Yeah, so my old quick was a 220 quick, but I didn't have the outlet converter for this outlet in the wall, because this uses a different 220 plug than the one that was on my quick. So I grabbed a 120 volt quick, but my 120 volt ones that I have in stock right now use Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. So I had this thing set to 450 Fahrenheit instead of 450 Celsius and was wondering why it wasn't melting anything. That was stupid. All right. That's... Somehow we can make that high's fault. All right, now technically that would attach, but I'm still not comfortable with that by itself. I'd like to add a little bit of reinforcement to it, since there's no pad there anymore. Yeah, that was funny. Like, why isn't this melting? It's clearly hot. I put my finger around it, and I noticed that my finger got warm. So I figured, all right, it's clearly melting. Like, why isn't it doing its job? You know why, dum-dum? Because it's fit to Fahrenheit. Ah, the fun. How do I get strong like you? I'm not really strong. I think I was just futzing with that outside of the microscope for a few minutes. Sorry about that. I really got to get back into the groove of doing board repairs on camera. I've been off for a while, so I'm not used to checking my screen to see how things are. I'll get back into the groove with it if you give me some time. I promise. Camera's off center. Yep. Sorry about that. Hold down CH2 and CH3 for 10 seconds to switch Celsius. Let's see if that works. Hold down channel 2 and channel 3 for 10 seconds. Oh, thank you. That actually worked. Okay. So as I said, that LED driver is most likely going to be fine. Now in this area, where I did a little minor touch-up earlier, I just want to give it a proper shoot. Some hot air. Now as you all know, this is the model that's going to have that U8900 failure. And as you can tell, this already likely did because it has its little good old Apple fix on it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that shoe rubber. Look at that Apple brand of shoe rubber right there. Well, John Beavers, as soon as that committee shows up, I'd like to know. I mean, as soon as, not the committee, as soon as that hearing shows up, I'd like to know. All right. Yeah, it's crooked. This is as crooked as Eugene's fucking deck. Yeah, that little piece of shoe rubber thing is just, that's not how we fix this. Like, make sure it's soldered on properly, you schmucks. I actually saw that M-Scope has a 4K microscope camera. I was thinking about it. It was tempting, but I just put like $3,000 into new NAS and a new NVR camera machine. About $4,500 into all the new tools for some more stations to fit some more people. I don't think I'm up for more spending at the moment, but it was tempting. 4K camera. 4K microscope. You'd be able to see me like the chip out of focus off camera at 4K. This rubber shit's getting in the way. I do not want to see pubes at 4K. I need to keep that little piece of rubber there because it's what keeps the chip pushed onto the board. That's Apple's solution, folks, not mine. I don't want to get any shit for that. Okay. Here's the 4K camera fund. Thank you, Divis. I don't want to get any crap for that little rubber piece over there. That's not my engineering. That's not third-party repair. GTFO. You don't get to call it my branding. Okay. Just going to get the heatsink out of the way here so that we can do the job. United sucks, Ryan. Okay, firstly, when it comes to buying miles, fuck United. Because half of the time when it comes to United, even if I have 130,000 miles, there are trips where when you click award travel, it'll say this is not available for this trip. And that's happened to me about 30% of the time that I've booked a flight. So you can have a lot of miles and it doesn't matter because United won't let you use them. Second, United is a shitty airline. Thirdly, so here's another thing that was happening with me. Let's say with a flight from Portland back to New York. So the amount of things that I can't stand about United, like they can't fit into one video. But let's go over some of them. So firstly, almost all the flights that I need to take leave from Newark, not LaGuardia or JFK. Why does this matter? Newark takes about an additional hour to get to, and if you're taking a cab there, is an additional $50 to $70. So even if you do save money because you used your rewards points, you just made up for that in the cost for the cab there. But what really pisses me off with United is they'll do this tricky shit where, okay, let's say me to go from here to Portland will be 12,000 points. 12,500 points. For me to come back here from Portland, 35,000 points. But if I do it in dollars, it's the same amount of dollars. So the flight in dollars from here to Portland and then from Portland back is the same number in dollars, but it's 3 times more in points than it is for me to come back than it is for me to go there. United plays with you constantly. Like, just no. That whole concept that you're saving money by getting a rewards, no, just fuck out of here. I'd rather just have a cash back card at this point myself. Synology makes nice NASs, but the thing is you wind up getting something with an Atom processor, so if you're using, let's just say, SSH FTP, it really kind of slows it down. And I don't want to... I feel dirty paying $1,100 and getting a processor that has like a 1,000 score on CPU benchmark. I just don't want to do that. You know, like I was going for a Synology NAS, but then when I saw, you know, the benefits of the Synology is you don't have to install crap yourself. It's all there and it's idiot-proof, which I like. I have a Synology at home because I just wanted it to be idiot-proof. But this is going to be used by more people. More 4K camera fun. Thank you very much, Home Brian. I keep bidding on the Sony FS7 on eBay that I know I should not be bidding on because I have no business spending that much money on a camera after all the fucking crap that I've went through. But when I saw that the NAS, like I could pay over $1,000 for a Synology NAS and still get a processor that's essentially Android phone level, I know it's stupid, and I know that with the amount of free time I have, I really should not be building a NAS. But when I could spend $300 less, get a rack mount case, get a machine that has a 10,000 CPU benchmark score, I'd rather just do that. Like, what if the power supply in the Synology dies? With a computer, I can just grab an ATX power supply and put it in. If a power supply in a Synology dies, like what? I got to fucking component level fix it. I got to waste time on that because it's not standard. You know, it's just there's that. The one benefit that Synology has is, let's say a drive dies, right? It'll say the drive in Bay 3 is dead. If a drive dies in my computer, how the fuck do you know which is which? Like, how the fuck do you know if dev SDA is SATA port 1 or SATA port 6? I have no idea. So that part sucks balls. But that's where you have to you have to take every fucking drive out of the bay and check the serial numbers of the drive. That sucks. That really sucks. But if you're smart enough to make note of the serial number of all the drives and then put a little dymo label on each drive saying like this is 1, this is 2, this serial is 1, this serial is 2, this serial is 3, this serial is 4, so that when FreeNAS tells you this drive is the one that's fucked, you know which one to take out, then you're saving with FreeNAS. In my opinion, what you get most from a Synology is A, the idiot-proof nature of it, B, above all, which drive is dead. The Synology is great for the person like me who doesn't plan, because when I put my drives in my home Synology, I don't know which serial number's in which slot. I don't know. But if it dies, it'll tell me the drive in Bay 1 is dead. The drive in Bay 3 is dead. Label when you build it. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't. But I'll do that for work. Anyway, let's get back to this. No sound panels. Nope, no sound panels. Not a single sound panel. Why does everybody say call Linus? Why does everybody assume that man has nothing better to do than fucking build my NAS? Like, also, I'm not paying somebody to build me a NAS. I'm not doing that shit where I say, I'm an influencer. I want you to come here for free and build my stuff. And I'm also not going to pay somebody else to do it because I'm a cheapskate. So that leaves me with the one option of put it together myself. And by myself, I mean pay an employee to do it because I pay them to do it anyway. HiHi is probably going to be the one that has to build that shit. I emailed you and HiHi info on a Supermicro server motherboard with 8x. Oh, yeah. JP, I appreciate it. I actually just wound up buying one. Yeah, I bought something that has 8 SATA ports, and I bought one of those little PCI Express card things. But I will check that out, because I may actually wind up canceling that order if what you sent is good enough. I did not want to buy a server case, because they're usually 1 or 2 are unit rack. I bought a 4-rack unit case so that I could put some proper heat sinks and fans, because I don't feel like... I don't want the stuff that I put in that rack to be ridiculously loud, because that rack is in the same room as people that don't want to hear it. Sent Erica info on Netgear, Ready NAS, 5-year warranty, overnight replacement, drives configurable, CPU up to Xeon, capacity up to 120. That's probably going to cost a lot more than the one that I built, though. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I already bought this thing, so I'm kind of committed now. But well, it hasn't arrived yet, but semi-committed. But if that's I'm really committed to the idea of not paying over $1,000 for what is essentially of shittier than a Celeron. Where'd I put all the Q-tips? Be right back, people. People, remind me to bring alcohol, because I don't have any alcohol here. Isn't it like 10 p.m.? It's 9:44 p.m. and I got to be up at 6 tomorrow morning to be here, because some dude that's redoing the gas or something is going to be here. I mean, some gas pipe. All right. Screen cleaner is the same thing as alcohol, right? I can use screen cleaner on a board. Yeah, this is lens solution, I think. Lens cleaning solution. This will be fine. This stuff is really not as good as alcohol, though. This stuff actually really sucks compared to alcohol. I knew I forgot to bring something. Oh, well. It'll do. I also forgot to bring a garbage pail. Okay, I could throw that into a cardboard box. Works for me. See what they have. Fucking. Ba-ba-ba-boom. What are you on Fios? I'm on Fios using the stock router. I don't feel like buying another pfSense router for the store because I have a pfSense router at the other store. So I'm using the shitty Verizon router now, and once it's time to say goodbye at the old location, I will bring over the pfSense router, because I actually have an i5 at the other store that's being used as a pfSense router. But the thing with pfSense that I found is that things that are simple to do in other routers become very difficult to do in pfSense, for no good reason. I mean, if you're an expert at networking, then probably it's easy to you. But for me, it doesn't. The reason I got a pfSense router, the reason I got that machine, is A, if I did get DDoSed or something, if my public IP actually ever made it out there into the wild, I wanted something that could deal with getting owned a little bit better. But because the ones that Spectrum gives you are total shit. They die for no good reason. But B, the other problem is that the internet that was so bad, I needed something that could dynamically switch back and forth. So when Spectrum started dropping too many packets, it would switch to this T-Mobile LTE hotspot. It was very slow. It gave DSL speeds and only gave you 20 gigabytes a month for something like $100. But it was good enough that at least, you know, the credit card machine would work. You could look up ticket statuses. The phone would work. All that good stuff would still go through. But now I don't really need that functionality anymore, so I don't really feel like I need to be punished by the difficulty tax that comes with doing things in pfSense that doesn't come with like the stock router. But I'll probably hook it up just because, like, I paid for it. I put the time in to set the damn thing up, which was a royal pain in the ass. So I might as well be able to say that I'm cool and I use a Unix-based router that I put together myself, and that has a Core i5 processor in it. Like, how many people can say that their router is a Core i5? Load balancing between two connections based on Unix. I mean, my penis will certainly be bigger if I hook that thing up. So I'm going to probably be hooking that thing up just for the hell of it, you know. All right, so now what we got to do is see if this thing actually works with a screen. So I'm going to be plugging in a MacBook for the first time. And I don't have my overhead camera, so there's no way for you to really see this. Time to figure out if this works. So I'm just going to clean my desk off a little bit. Have a nice dirty rag and some pledge. Wait, what is all this flux doing on my desk? Who used all this flux on my desk? There's no need for this excessiveness. All right. All I want to see is, do I get an Apple logo? Now, Anel gave me a screen. I can say that my router is an i7 7700. You have big balls, my friend. Your balls are bigger than mine. Now, I have it's a mini PC. I wanted to get something that was not break the bank, that would have a semi-decent processor, and that would have enough Ethernet ports for 1 LAN, 2 WAN. There's one more thing I left out here that I should probably... I think the Ultrasonic will get that just fine. Ultrasonic will get keyboard connector. Everybody, this is Anel. Everybody say hi to Anel. I like the space in this office. Because once David has his own desk and he's out of here, that's all mine.
You know what that means, right?
What?
All this entire thing will just be like 1 foot tall of donut boards.
Or-
I wonder where all the donut boards
Or my bike. Most likely just bicycle stuff.
hanging station.
Bike fixing, the Fang station, maintenance station.
Isn't that Paul's desk?
Okay. Let's see if this works.
It's been written broken on it, but I can't tell if it's a broken LCD or just an actual.
You know what I should do before I do this is I should see... Yes, that would be smart. If I had a brain, I would check and make sure this is not shorted before moving on.
The fuse will just blow.
Yeah. Interesting. 63 kilo ohms. And my fuse, 0.4 ohms. All right. Now let's see. Can I get the power supply software on the screen? Go power supply software. Are you on COM 4? Look at that. It's lighting up the screen. This is a broken test screen, but you get the idea. So we were able to fix this. Now we get a backlight. So our issue with this board was that the backlight fuse had blew up. Now, the reason the backlight fuse blew up is quite simple. Lewis brought every component to the new store for his first board repair, besides backlight fuses. Had I brought backlight fuses to the store, it would have been something else. But because I didn't bring a backlight fuse, since backlight fuses never blow on a MacBook, the MacBook's backlight fuse blew. The connector was also nasty, which was causing there to be a short to ground inside of the connector, as well as in the LCD screen cable. The LCD screen cable that was coming with this machine is something I cannot plug back in. I'm going to have to replace the LCD screen cable because it looks like this. It looks really nasty. And this is not something where I can just bend it back like a bent pin like in the CBC video. Thank you very much to Mr. Shepard. So if you take a look under the microscope, you'll see that this is awful right here. Like this, I can't just bend back into place. He needs to pay for a replacement cable. This is not going to do it. But that's about it. That is a working board. I'm just going to touch up the joints on the keyboard connector a little bit. I'm going to clean this off in the ultrasonic cleaner. Once we get distilled water or Branson for the ultrasonic cleaner, and plug the ultrasonic cleaner in and find out which box the ultrasonic cleaner is in out of the 100 boxes out there. And after that, this customer will have a happy working MacBook. That's about it for today. And as always, I hope that you learned something.